Hi, Ashley. I'm just going to give you some feedback on everything you sent me in this email. Now, the first thing here, you've given a list of prompts, but you'd have to create, well, first of all, I need a self-assessment here based on the self-assessment guidelines listed on Canvas. Uh, I need to understand how this was created. I don't see the plan. I just see this sort of list of prompts. And I'm not even sure sing the good morning train song with the children as they sit down. I don't think that's a prompt that would work. Let's listen to the story together, and then you can help me bring it to life by acting out the characters and events. So I'm not understanding these as prompts that you'd put into Chat GPT. Design a brief classroom exercise that uses one of the provided prompts. Okay, so where are the prompts? So I'm a bit confused here. Create a set of open-ended dramatic play scenarios that encourage imagination. Now, you see, the problem is, I mean, this is like I like that there's a diversity of ideas here, but these are not particularly effective prompts. I mean, you need to say you're an expert in drama with children of what age, right? Um, and you want to do a set, you'd probably say, um, you'd want to be more specific. You'd want to say what children, and you want to, at this stage, it, it's best to give better prompts and longer prompts. So just looking at this, I'm just wondering what went into it. How did you do it? I'd need a video on that. What tools did you use? Um, and also, what was the plan ahead of time? Because I don't see a plan here. I just see a final project. So there's that. And then this one here, this is what I get. You don't have permission. So it looks like you haven't given me permissions. I tried it on another um, site, like another Google, my Gmail account, and it doesn't work. And then now I will look at your student portfolio, and let me see where I'm going to start. Okay, I'm going to start at week 5. I've looked at I've assessed it, I think 2 or 3 times before. So I will start here. You have a self-grading guide and you've given yourself a B plus, and you've given yourself a very detailed self-assessment, which is definitely an A quality self-assessment. Um, in terms of the Gen AI activity, you have it here, which is good. It's a good link. You've got the competencies. Um, Now, I don't think you rated yourself on it, but that's all right. And then you've given a very solid reflection here. Personal project, I'll separate that from now on. So what you submit as a personal project will be just looked at individually. But you have a nice reflection here. Um, yeah, okay, so you have you're primarily using a chatbot to ask you about these things. Um, okay. And then the community contributions. This was lesson 5, is it not? Yeah, and you were not present in class. So I'm not sure what this is because you're absent. You were absent lesson 2, 3, 4, um, 5, and 6. So that's sort of you have to, I'm just going to say absent, you would have to uh, go to the actual lesson and go to the video at the top of the lesson that would tell you how you would do your contributions here. You've got Diffid in here. At this point, we don't need any more contributions, but it's good that you have one. Here you're giving yourself an A minus. Again, you did miss this week. You have the Gen AI activity, which was create a summary of a tool. Yeah, that's a pretty minimal contribution as I looked at. It looks like it's pretty rushed, my lens, so it's okay, but I wouldn't say it's an A quality contribution. A decent reflection. Um, and then you've got something to do with your creating a visual schedule cards, but I don't actually have the link to that. That didn't work, right? When you click on this canvas, it gives me an error. And the other thing is, as I mentioned, you'll need a self-assessment for project one and you need a self-assessment for project two. And in your case, because the output was somewhat minimal in project one, I need to understand, perhaps with a video, what you were doing, because there's no plan and there's pretty minimal contributions in terms, at least not contributions, minimal description of what you've been doing. So completed the activity after class. I was catching a flight, so you missed this. Wasn't here. Yeah. So again, you'd have to go to here. You're going to get. Um, you have to complete video guided instructions from this particular lesson. So that's that. And then you can stop putting resources in. That's fine. I mean, we've already done Magic Schoolhouse, so again, you're giving yourself an A minus here. Your descriptions are clear. This was the innovative chatbot ideas, and um, yeah, and then you've done a reflection on that, so that's fine. That's good. Um, And then you've got your reflection here. You've got this thing about spending 2 hours on your visual daily schedule, but I'm just not sure what you're doing, obviously, because I can't even see the project at this point. Um, and then filled in the goal, looked at a new tool and filled in another goal form. Answer the question. So you missed the class, but you're making an effort here. But I think you were supposed to produce a link to a document, I'm pretty sure. You're saying the breakout room was interesting, but I think I could be wrong. Let me just see. This is week 7, and oh yes, you were here. You were here week 7, so that's a good contribution. So that was all done well. So I would say you're more to B plus. Uh, the way I would say to improve, which to give me a better idea of what's going on with your personal project for sure, because it's hard to know. But otherwise, it's it's pretty reasonable actually, honestly. You give yourself an A minus again, and then here you did come to class, which was great, and this is to support assessment. Uh, there's some ideas here. Um, Yeah, I mean they're pretty good. And you've got the tools in there, although in some of them there's a tool. Yeah, so that's good. You completed that. That's fine. A good reflection. Um, and then the in-class contributions, those are very solid, and you're putting in these these contributions here in terms of, well, you're adding this. This is extra. So yeah, I would say you're at that A minus level. Now here you're giving yourself an A. Ideas for personalization. Um, yeah, I mean, it's interesting because this is sort of minimal, this idea here. Um, yeah, you could use a lot more description in those personalized ideas, I think, particularly since you're using ChatGPT to do that. Uh, it's I can't see where um, it would have taken 60 minutes to do that, but and then you've got the visual schedule again. You keep creating these cards, I guess, but I don't see it, so I have to see it. Um, and then your community contributions are good. So the last couple of classes I would say are now that's interesting. We haven't done week 10 yet. uh, oh, I see. You're just getting yourself going there. But it would be, yeah, we haven't done it yet. So that, last 2 weeks, A minus. The other ones, well, the 1 week you were not there, so that's a lower grade. So you're sort of hovering probably around somewhere between B plus to A minus. That said, with the projects, you need to definitely improve on those.